This knife I bought on eBay. It's called the Combat Commander Next Generation Boot Knife. United Cutlery. Same place where I got my 1065 kind of a machete Roman sword. Anyway, Combat Commander. Fancy yellow box. I think the thing that drives me nuts about this knife is, it's a Combat Commander Next Generation Boot Knife, and I mean, it's kind of got that boot knife shape, but when I open it up, of course, it came wrapped in some plastic, and that's some good stuff. And then here, I'm going to throw the box now. It's got a little do not eat dry stuff. Here it is. It comes with some paracord right there, so you can, I don't know, lash it to your leg or whatever you want to do. Right here, it's got a boot. I mean, it's got a belt. I'm thinking about boot, but it's got a belt plastic thing, so you can connect it to your belt. So it's got like a plastic belt loop. Anyway, most boot knives I've ever seen have like some sort of a sheath, and then they have a clip, and so you could like put it in your boot. You don't have a boot available, but you would put it in there, and then it would like clip down in there. I guess you could just take the knife out and stick it in your boot. And here it is. It's a knife. It clips in there really well. It locks into place. There's no doubt about that. It's got a nice blade. It's got the 3CR13 stainless steel, so it's just a regular stainless steel blade. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, they are sturdy enough, but I'd imagine this thing is brittle and would break. Easy to sharpen, though. I mean, it'll sharpen really well. I mean, they've blackened the blade with some sort of a paint. You've got some serrades, and then you've got that kind of a dagger shape. It does come out a little bit, kind of flare, so you can hold on to it and perhaps not cut yourself and push yourself onto the blade. I mean, you can come up a little bit on this side right here. There's nothing here. But, I really like having a little bit serrated on a knife too, because then you can cut something. But other than that, like, my biggest concern is that it's not really made for your boot. If they're going to call it the next generation boot knife, unless you start putting a belt to hold your boot on, I don't know how you put this in your boot. I mean, I guess you could just shove it in there anyway, and you got this big plastic thing on there. And maybe it's time to mod it, just cut all this off, maybe with a hacksaw, and put your own clip in here, take off the string. Anyway, so I don't know if this was well thought out. It's cheap. You can find them on eBay. I don't think the blade material matters that much if the blade is that small anyway. There's not much there to break. I really don't have much more to say about it. I mean, I'm sure it would stab stuff. And like I said, the shape and the thickness of this blade, it's pretty thick. I think it would protect it. I think that thickness of that blade is going to protect it from breaking very easily. It's definitely not any kind of tool steel or spring steel, anything that I would be proud of, but I guess if it's all I had, I would be happy that I had it. And it's really not that big. I don't really like this knife deployment thing. I guess you could make a necklace out of it and wear it, but you've got all this extra plastic on here, which is weird. Maybe that's what it should be, is a neck knife. Maybe we can cut all that off. Maybe that's what I'll experiment doing. I'll experiment like grinding all that crap off and turning it into a neck knife. Maybe that'd be really good, because that's just a neck knife. I don't really see it being a boot knife without the crack boot, but it does. It holds it really well. I mean, there's a little bit of rattle, but I mean, as far as it's in there, and it locks into place, and that's really wonderful. And either side, locks into place. Put a little, you can take some of this off and put it on here if you like a lanyard. I think sometimes a lanyard's really good if it's about the size of your hand. If you have a lanyard about the size of your hand, you can put that around your hand, and then it'll also help your hand not move on a knife. That's what I like about a lanyard. Anyway, it's painted on. It's definitely not glued on. This is some sort of a black paint. Just like caked on there probably and heated on. Anyway, that's my 2 cents about this knife. Not super impressed, but they're not really that expensive on eBay. Combat Commander Next Generation boot knife.